Oh, I see it. Oh, this is going to be easy.
The Lord Be With You podcast show, also known as Christian Fandom Geek on YouTube, is a Red 5 show, also affiliated with Fandom Collective. So, enjoy the show, and the Force will be with you very soon on the Lord Be With You podcast show. Welcome to the Lord Be With You podcast show, also known as Christian Fandom Geek on YouTube, the best stories of our age from a Christian point of view. Hope you are keeping safe and well in the times that we are living in. It's been a bit of a hiatus on podcast episodes. I think it's been about a month. So I'm glad to be able to get back to you with a podcast episode for all you folks who are enjoying and engaged with the show via podcast. If you get on Christian Fandom Geek on YouTube, there are, however, episodes on there. Quite a few episodes of me swinging around a lightsaber, YouTube shorts, and quite a few episodes of me streaming games on PlayStation 4 as well, including Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Racing, and Sonic, another Sonic platform game as well, a 2D one. So there are episodes on there for you who are avid content creators and consumers of content as well. For those of you who are engaged with the Lord Be With You podcast show, if you've missed out on the podcast episodes, get onto Christian Fandom Geek and you can get to play and enjoy the episodes that are on there as well. So why am I doing this short episode today? Is a nice story about Obi-Wan Kenobi, our good friend Ewan McGregor, who is in the Variety magazine talking about using the Force on sliding doors. And I think this is absolutely hilarious. I think it's something we probably all have done. If you're a Star Wars fan like myself, I think at some point in your life, you will be, if you're being really honest with yourself, you'll be able to identify with the notion of coming to a shop or an apartment store, in a shopping complex, or even a normal shop on a high street, and it has an automatic door, and straight away the first thing that comes in your thoughts is, I can pretend that I'm a Jedi here, use my hand to wave the doors open, and I know that some of you won't want to admit that you've done this, but if you're a Star Wars fan, it's something that every Star Wars fan has either done or has considered doing. But I think if I was doing a poll on Twitter for this, I think probably 80%, maybe even higher, of Star Wars fans have done this. And Ewan McGregor has done it as well. And he talks about it, that he's got caught using the Force on automatic sliding doors. I quote, "kind of embarrassing." That's what he said. Anyway, let's go. This is a story on Variety here. Ewan McGregor is returning to Star Wars for the first time in 17 years with the up-and-coming Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi. But it turns out the actor didn't entirely give up on his Jedi training in the first 2 decades, in 2 decades between Star Wars Revenge of the Sith and the new streaming series. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, McGregor admitted that he often uses a Force hand motion on automatic doors in various supermarkets. Quoting Ewan McGregor here, "I do it with doors," McGregor said, "of the finger/force move. I like to do that with automatic doors just for my own amusement. I always do a little Jedi move for the doors, and I've occasionally been caught doing it. You know, like at the supermarket or something, when I'm out wheeling my trolley out." So basically he's saying at the supermarket, when he's wheeling his trolley out, he uses the Force hand motion, which we all have done, guys. Let's be honest, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we've all done it. And I think if you say you haven't done it, you might be a liar. Anyway, I'm only joking. I'm sure the guys and girls that listen to the Lord Be With You podcast show, who play the videos on Christian Fandom Geek, you're not liars. You're of good character. Anyway, let's continue. It's just for my own amusement because it makes me laugh, but occasionally I've been caught doing that and it's kind of embarrassing, McGregor continued. It's difficult not to do it, isn't it? It's fun. If the timing is right, it feels very powerful. So that is a really interesting notion. If the timing's right, it feels very powerful. I agree with that. It's a weird thing. It's really weird, but I do agree with that. I think if the timing is right on that, I do think it's a kind of a situation where it does feel like, ooh, that's interesting. That's really cool. So let's continue. McGregor has even tried and failed to impress his kids by using the force on automatic supermarket doors. As the actor added, my kids are totally impervious to the whole Jedi mind trick. They don't care. It doesn't work on them. Yeah, I think when your dad is Obi-Wan Kenobi, when your dad is Ewan McGregor, I don't think it's going to work on your kids. They're like, yeah, dad's just pretending to be a Jedi again. There you go. Obi-Wan Kenobi is Disney Plus's third Star Wars series following The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Obviously, you guys at home, guys and girls at home, you know that I'm a big Mandalorian fan. I loved season 1 and 2. I also enjoyed the Book of Boba Fett, although I acknowledge that the Book of Boba Fett had issues, and the best episodes on the Book of Boba Fett were the episodes that Boba Fett wasn't in, and that is problematic for a show. You don't ever want to have a show where your main character, your central protagonist, has episodes in this show, in the series, and the best version or the best episodes in that series are the ones he's not in. That's never a good idea because it makes your main character look weak, and that's what a lot of more critical Star Wars shows and fans who are really kind of a bit more against sort of Kathleen Kennedy, especially with the stuff that's been going on, straight away were highlighting that, and they're absolutely right. They're absolutely correct. So it's the third one. The new show comes from director Deborah Chow, who was behind the camera on a couple of Mandalorian episodes. Okay. And Joby Harold. As every Star Wars fan knows, Obi-Wan Kenobi will reunite McGregor and Anakin Skywalker actor Hayden Christensen after the duo were front and centre in the Attack of the Clones and the Revenge of the Sith. The series debuts 25th of May on Disney+. So, that is the end of that little story, which I thought was really quite amusing and quite funny. I am looking forward to the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I hope it will be on par with Mandalorian and better than the Book of Boba Fett. Although, really, for the sake of Kathleen Kennedy and probably for the sake of Disney Lucasfilm at the moment, I think they do need a win, especially because the Book of Boba Fett got mixed reviews. And because you've got Ewan McGregor, who's obviously a Hollywood elite star, because you've got Hayden Christensen and as the beloved Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, you've got some of the strongest characters in Star Wars canon. This show needs to be amazing. This show needs to be the best show, not even just out of Disney Lucasfilm in terms of Star Wars, but even out of the Marvel shows as well. This show, for me, needs to be better than even the Marvel shows as well. This show needs to be the best show that's been on the Disney streaming service. It needs to be Hollywood cinematic quality. It needs to have a great storyline. It needs to hit the right sort of notes for a kind of monomyth story. It needs to be proper Star Wars. It needs to be non-woke. We want diversity, but it needs to be natural and authentic to the story. It needs to be non-woke. I said that before, I'll say it again, non-woke. Don't go with identity politics. Don't go with shallow virtue signalling. Make it an authentic Star Wars monomyth story. Great action, great pacing, great music. I think John Williams, is doing the soundtrack. So if that's the case, it's going to be absolutely amazing. And it needs to have a feel. This is the thing, guys. The reason why I love Mandalorian season 1 and 2 so much is because it feels like Star Wars. Now, there are people who are Star Wars fans that may not love the Mandalorian as much as I do. But the one thing that every Star Wars fan will say is that the Mandalorian TV show, season 1 and 2, it feels like a Star Wars show. That's why so many of us love the show. It feels authentic. It doesn't contradict Star Wars canon, or not in an obvious way. And it feels real. It feels like Star Wars. And that's why, and yes, I know people say yes, but it relies heavily on cameo appearances. Yeah, I suppose in some ways it does. But that doesn't negate the quality of the Mandalorian TV show. It doesn't negate the fact that it feels authentic Star Wars. And that's, as a Star Wars fan, that's what I want. And I think for most Star Wars fans, that's what we're really asking for, is a TV show or films that feel authentic to Star Wars, especially to what George Lucas did in the original trilogy. Anyway, that's the end of this short little episode, and there will be more episodes coming up on Christian Fandom Geek and on the Lord Be With You podcast show as well on Podcast Player. Thank you for listening to this episode, and we'll be with you again very soon on the Lord Be With You podcast show.